Hi everyone, welcome. I'm going to be showing how to comp in this car. I've been wanting to do this for a while now. I've just haven't had the time or the resources, but I've upgraded my PC and I've got a little bit more time during lockdown, so I hope that you guys enjoy this little series that I'm doing. It's going to be in multiple parts. Well, I'm going to take you through everything from roto, plate ingestion, setting up the project within Nuke using some scripts that I've made. I'm going to be going through the shading and lighting of the car. I'll talk a little bit about how I shot this scene and what I had to do on the, I'm doing inverted commas, but on the set, if you will. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Really something that I've wanted to do for quite some time, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I will say that this comp that I've done is still a whip. I'm in the process of making this tutorial, so I don't want to go too far ahead and forget what I did, but this is a little taste of what it could do. And a nice little touch that I did within rendering is adding the body to the car shader, so you get the proper reflections, get some nice shadows going on as well. Essentially, I'm going to begin with bringing in the plates and setting up the project in a way that you can have a nice folder structure, and that's using some scripts that I've done not so long ago, so it's still fresh in my mind as well, so I'm looking forward to showing you that. So going to delete that. So this is my clip currently. This is where I filmed. It's in a car park in our block of flats. This is my partner. She graciously walked and I filmed. So to begin with, I want to set up this project, and I think this is going to be its own little chapter, because to have a folder structure and setting up the project is going to be something that you will rely on, and just keeping your scenes and folders all nice and neat will help in the long run, so you're not looking all over your comp for folders or where that one camera is. And if you name everything the same, it will just make your life a lot easier. It's essentially a pipeline at home, and I've made the script, which is here. In a nutshell, what it's going to do is bring up a panel. You can set your file locations and where you want to save it. Add any additional names that you want. So if you want a separate folder for Maya or whatever, you can do that. And it's going to set up a basic folder structure of all these. It's just more of a pipeline thing. Yeah, I'm going to take you through it. So to begin, I've created the script, this one over here, and I've put it within my menu PY so I can call on it later. So I created a little tab called scripts, and I'm going to go project setup, setup project. Now generally I want to call this, for my own personal project, I want to call this something that's easily recognizable. So car comp, yeah, car comp pretty much. I've got a folder ready for the tutorial series, so I'm going to open it here. So that's the folder. It's going to set up every single folder that I've stated in the script editor, and any additional folders that I want. So I know what I'm going to use. So I'm going to use Synthesize. I'm going to use Mocha for the tracking. So for now, I'm just going to add those two folders extra on top of the folders that it's already going to create. Now I've done a handy thing in the script. I've asked it to, if there's any spaces, it's going to replace it with a underscore. I mean, you could do it in here, but it's just easier. And then any capital letters, it will make it lowercase, just to look a little neater and more streamlined. Just, that's my personal preference. You can change that later. But if I now click execute, you won't see anything happen, but in the background it has done it. So tutorial series, you can see car comp, and now it's set up all the folders that I wanted. Okay, so I've got 3D assets, CG comp, match move, mocha, plates, pre-comp, roto, and synthesize. Okay, So within each folder, I'm just going to go into comp, I've got a render, v1, and this is obviously where your v1 render would go. That could be a denoise or a pre-comp or whatever you want. We will go into save. I've got a v1, so this would be your save that you've used to create that denoise. So if you're rendering out something, that's generally when you want to go up a version. That's just the way I've worked at different companies. Pretty much the script setup and how it works. Now you've got everything that you can fall back to. So if I've done a rotor, I know, ooh, okay, version 1, I can call upon that within my script, and that's easier to locate than a folder somewhere else that you might messily create. So yeah, I do like that little script, it's quite nifty. So now from here I would save my plate. I would render this out to, let's go into tutorial series, car comp. I would save my plate out into render v1, and I would call it car comp plate 01 v001 underscore. We shall render this into a EXR sequence, but we'll go DWAA. Generally like to go up to 90. This is just how I render at work as well as just personal. So I'm going to render my frame range, which is 1001. Sorry, let's just put that. I'm probably going to speed this up. So that's just finished rendering. If you have just rendered something and you press R on it, it will bring up whatever you've rendered, and that's for any write node. So now we have our plate. I think I will stop here because now everything's in a nice folder structure. Tutorial series, car comp, plates, render, v1. Ooh, another note is you probably want to save the script. So we shall go into tutorial series, car comp, plates, save, v1, call it the same, v001, car comp, plate 01. So now we've got everything saved into a nice folder structure, and if I go back to it and go into plates, save, v1, we've got our plate there. In render, v1, there's our render in a EXR sequence. Yeah, I think I'll end it there, and I will see you in the next chapter. Goodbye.